Chosen one, before you try to analyze this message, before your mind begins asking questions or your doubts try to interrupt what you're feeling, I need you to slow down and become still, because moments like this do not arrive casually. December 18th is not just approaching, it is announcing itself. There are dates that pass quietly, blending into routine, and then there are dates that carry a presence, a pressure, a gravity that can be felt before they ever arrive. December 18th is one of those dates. It is not random, not coincidental, and not something you stumbled upon accidentally. This moment is weighted. It is deliberate. It has been forming in the unseen long before you became consciously aware of it. If something inside you feels alert, emotional, or unusually attentive right now, that is not imagination, that is recognition. Your spirit recognizes what your mind is still trying to process. This is not just information. This is an activation. There is a reason urgency is wrapped in calm instead of fear. There is a reason reverence is rising instead of anxiety. December 18th does not demand panic, it demands presence. It asks you to stop skimming through life and listen beneath the surface. You have been moving through days carrying questions you couldn't quite articulate, sensing that something was shifting, but unable to name it. This is why this message feels different. It didn't arrive to entertain you, it arrived to align you. Divine messages do not chase people, they meet them at intersections of readiness. And the fact that you are here, reading this, listening to this, engaging with this moment, is proof that you have reached one of those intersections. December 18th carries spiritual weight because it is not about what you will do, it is about what is already being released. Many people believe divine moments arrive loudly, dramatically, with obvious signs, but the truth is, the most important shifts often begin quietly, internally, with a subtle but undeniable knowing. That knowing is what you're feeling now. A gentle but firm awareness that this is not just another motivational message, not just another almost moment, not another promise that fades. Something about this feels settled, grounded, real. That is because December 18th is not asking for belief, it is confirming alignment. You didn't find this message because you were bored. You didn't arrive here because of an algorithm alone. You were drawn, pulled, led. There is a divine intelligence that operates beyond logic, beyond scrolling habits, beyond coincidence. When timing aligns, paths cross naturally. And when a message meets you at the exact moment your spirit is ready to receive it, it is never accidental. This message found you because your season has shifted internally before it shifts externally. Long before circumstances change, awareness changes. And awareness is changing now. December 18th is being declared because silence has done its work. The waiting has served its purpose. The confusion refined you. The stillness strengthened you. This announcement is not rushed because nothing about your journey has been rushed. Everything you endured, questioned, survived, and carried quietly has been building toward this moment. That is why there is weight here, not pressure, but significance. This is not a warning, it is an arrival notice. It is a moment where heaven leans in and says, pay attention. Something is ready. If life has felt unusually intense lately, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, it's because transition always creates tension before release. The closer you get to alignment, the louder distractions become. The closer you get to breakthrough, the more your doubts try to speak. That's not failure, that's proximity. December 18th is not demanding that you figure everything out. It is asking you to trust what you already feel but haven't fully acknowledged. The peace you've been sensing beneath the uncertainty. The quiet confidence returning after long exhaustion. The subtle feeling that something is lining up even if you can't yet explain how. This moment calls you into awareness, not effort. Stillness, not striving. Alignment, not force. You don't need to prove anything right now. You don't need to chase what's coming. You only need to be present enough to receive it. December 18th stands as a sacred announcement that this season of preparation has reached completion. What has been forming privately is preparing to move publicly. What has been building internally is ready to express externally. This message didn't come early, and it didn't come late. It came precisely on time. And if you're here, it's because you were meant to hear it now, not yesterday, not next week, but now. December 18th is not just approaching. It is calling. Chosen one, December 18th is not simply a date you pass through. It is a point of access, a moment where something sealed finally receives permission to open. Many people misunderstand divine timing because they think dates are symbolic only, but some dates are functional. They do something. They unlock something. They authorize movement. December 18th operates as a key, not because of superstition, but because of alignment. A key only works when the lock is ready, and the lock is only ready when everything behind it has been prepared to move forward without collapse. That is what makes this date different. It is not an emotional marker, it is a structural one. It confirms that what has been held back was not being withheld, it was being stabilized. And now, the internal structure you've been building can finally support the external shift that is about to occur. For a long time, you sensed that something significant was coming, but it never fully arrived. You felt close, almost there, right on the edge, yet the breakthrough didn't materialize. That's because destiny does not respond to desire alone. It responds to readiness. December 18th exists as confirmation that readiness has been reached. Not perfection, not flawlessness. Readiness. You have learned enough. You have endured enough. You have matured enough. The lessons you resisted earlier would have destabilized you if this door opened too soon. But now the same lessons have become anchors instead of obstacles. This date proves that nothing was wasted, not the waiting, not the confusion, not even the detours. All of it was calibration. A divine key does not open every door at once, it opens the right one. December 18th doesn't promise chaos or overwhelm, it promises access. Access to clarity where there was fog. Access to movement where there was stagnation. Access to opportunity where there was resistance. And once access is granted, the old limitations no longer apply in the same way. That's why this date feels heavy but calm. It's not chaotic anticipation, it's grounded expectation. Something feels settled because something has been decided. This is what makes December 18th a big day. Not because everything explodes dramatically, but because something irreversible begins. After a key turns, you cannot pretend the door was never there. You cannot unknow what's been revealed. You cannot return to the version of yourself that existed before the lock opened. That is why this moment carries responsibility as well as reward. Big days change direction. They alter timelines. They shift priorities without asking for permission. December 18th marks a point where your life begins to move according to alignment instead of resistance. This date is also confirmation that your intuition was right all along. The inner nudges you felt but ignored. The sense that you were being held back for a reason. The quiet feeling that this isn't over yet. Those were not false hopes, they were signals. December 18th validates them. It confirms that what you felt internally was more accurate than what you saw externally. That's important because moving forward, you will rely less on external validation and more on internal knowing. This date strengthens your discernment. You may notice that as December 18th approaches, Your tolerance for misalignment decreases. Things that once felt acceptable now feel heavy. Conversations feel shallow. Distractions feel louder. That's because keys don't just open doors, they also reveal what no longer fits on the other side. December 18th is not only about gaining something new, it's also about releasing what cannot follow you forward. The door you're stepping through requires lighter weight, clearer focus, and stronger boundaries. A divine key also implies trust. You're being trusted with access because you've proven you can handle it. Access without maturity creates destruction. Access with preparation creates legacy. December 18th signals that you are stepping into a season where your decisions carry more impact, your words carry more weight, and your presence carries more authority. That doesn't mean pressure, it means alignment. Things respond differently to you now because you are different now. This date was written into your story long before you were aware of it. It was placed intentionally, knowing exactly who you would become by the time you reached it. That's why it fits you now in a way it wouldn't have before. You are not arriving early, and you are not arriving late. You are arriving exactly as designed. December 18th doesn't rush you forward, it welcomes you forward. Understand this clearly. This key does not unlock struggle, it unlocks movement. It does not unlock chaos, it unlocks flow. It does not unlock pressure, it unlocks permission. Permission to step out of cycles that kept repeating. Permission to move without explaining yourself. Permission to trust your alignment without guilt. That is why December 18th feels different from other, almost moments in your life. Those moments asked for effort. This one asks for readiness. So when we say December 18th is more than a date, we mean it is a turning mechanism, a pivot point, a moment where destiny shifts from preparation into expression. You are not imagining the weight of this day, you are recognizing its function. The key is in place. The door is ready. And once it opens, the path forward will no longer require the same struggle it once did. Chosen one, the hidden season was never meant to be understood while you were inside it, and that is why it felt so confusing, so lonely, and at times so unfair. There were days you questioned yourself more than you questioned life, moments when you wondered whether you had misheard your calling or misunderstood your purpose altogether. You watched others move forward, receive recognition, experience breakthroughs, and step into visible success while you remained behind the scenes, doing the work, carrying the weight, and waiting without explanation. That kind of waiting does something to a person. It strips you down emotionally, humbles you spiritually, and forces you to confront parts of yourself you would never have faced in the spotlight. And yet, this was not abandonment. It was assignment. The hidden season exists because exposure too early can destroy what is meant to last. If what you were carrying had been revealed before you were ready, the pressure would have crushed you, the opinions would have confused you, and the responsibility would have overwhelmed you. So heaven hid you, not to delay you, but to protect what was developing inside you. In the hidden season, you were learning how to stand without applause, how to keep going without reassurance, how to trust without visible evidence. That kind of strength cannot be taught publicly. It must be forged privately. This is where your discernment was sharpened, where you learned the difference between validation and alignment, where you stopped needing everyone to understand you in order to believe in yourself. The silence you experienced was not emptiness, it was refinement. It was teaching you how to hear your own voice, how to recognize divine nudges without external confirmation, and how to remain steady even when nothing seemed to move. That steadiness is not accidental, it is foundational. There were moments in this season where invisibility felt like rejection, where being overlooked felt personal, where unanswered prayers made you wonder if your efforts even mattered. But delay was never punishment, it was preparation. Some blessings require internal expansion before external manifestation. Some doors stay closed not because you lack worth, but because the version of you standing outside them is still becoming. You are being strengthened emotionally so you wouldn't crumble under pressure later. You are being matured spiritually so power wouldn't corrupt you. You are being stabilized mentally so sudden elevation wouldn't destabilize you. These are not lessons learned quickly, and they are not lessons learned publicly. The hidden season also taught you restraint. There were times you could have forced outcomes, pushed connections, chased opportunities, but something inside you held back. That restraint was wisdom forming. You learned that not every open door is your door, and not every opportunity is aligned. You learned how to wait without wasting time, how to grow without being seen, and how to trust a process that didn't explain itself. That kind of discipline is rare. And it is precisely why what comes next will last. Understand this clearly. Heaven does not hide people it plans to forget. It hides people it plans to reveal properly. The longer the preparation, the greater the responsibility attached to the release. You were not delayed because you were slow. You were delayed because what you are carrying has weight. Weight requires structure. Structure takes time. And time was not working against you. It was working on you. There is also something deeply personal about the hidden season. It exposes your motives. When no one is watching, when progress feels invisible, when rewards seem absent, you discover why you're really doing what you're doing. You learned whether you were chasing recognition or alignment, whether you wanted applause or purpose. That clarification matters now, because what is coming will bring visibility, and visibility amplifies whatever already exists inside you. The hidden season purified your intentions so that when attention comes, it does not derail you. Looking back, you may realize that if things had moved faster, you would have settled for less. You would have accepted environments that couldn't sustain you. You would have compromised your values for momentum. The delay saved you from short-term wins that would have led to long-term loss. It positioned you for something deeper, cleaner, and more stable. December 18th reveals that the waiting was not empty, it was exact. So if you ever wondered why it took so long, why it felt so quiet, why progress seemed invisible, this is why. You were being built from the inside out, not rushed, not forced, not prematurely exposed. And now, because of that hidden work, you're prepared to step forward without losing yourself. The season of obscurity has completed its assignment. It did not break you, it fortified you. And what comes next will prove that nothing about the delay was accidental. Chosen one, there comes a moment in every divinely guided journey when preparation meets permission. When everything that has been held in place by timing suddenly receives authorization to move. And that moment is what December 18th represents for you. This is the divine flip, the point where waiting is replaced by motion, where stagnation gives way to momentum, and where silence finally releases its grip. The divine flip is not gradual, it is decisive. It is the instant when heaven says, now, not as a suggestion, not as a possibility, but as a command that reshapes circumstances without needing explanation. One moment you are positioned quietly, wondering when things will shift, and the next, the environment around you begins to respond differently. Doors that once resisted you now open with ease. Conversations that once stalled now flow forward. People who overlooked you begin to recognize you without being prompted. This is how divine reversals work. They don't argue with resistance. They replace it. What makes the divine flip so powerful is that it does not require you to announce yourself. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to convince anyone that your time has come. When heaven flips the script, the atmosphere changes first. Momentum replaces friction. Support appears where opposition once lived. And suddenly, the things you were trying so hard to make happen before begin to happen naturally. That is not coincidence. It is alignment asserting itself. December 18th is not asking you to push harder. It is inviting you to move differently. The effort that once exhausted you is no longer required in the same way because the resistance that demanded it has been removed. This shift may feel subtle at first, but it is unmistakable. You will notice that your energy changes before your circumstances do. There is a calm confidence settling in, a sense that you no longer need to chase what belongs to you. Decisions become clearer. Doubt loses its grip. The fear of, what if it doesn't work, is replaced by a quiet assurance that something has already been decided. That's because divine flips are not emotional, they are structural. Something in the unseen rearranges itself, and the visible world follows suit. December 18th marks the moment when what was once pending becomes active. Expect acceleration, but not chaos. Expect movement, but not confusion. Divine momentum feels clean. It feels supported. It feels stable. You may find that situations resolve faster than you expected, that answers arrive without prolonged struggle, and that progress no longer feels like an uphill battle. That is the signature of a divine flip. Things move forward without draining you. The same effort yields greater results. The same actions produce multiplied outcomes. You are not working harder. You are working in alignment. This is also the moment when your position changes. Not just in title or recognition, but in posture. You no longer approach life from a place of waiting. You approach it from a place of readiness. You no longer ask for permission. You move with authority. This internal shift is critical because elevation that happens externally without happening internally creates instability. But in your case, the internal shift came first. The waiting refined you. The hidden seasons strengthened you. And now, when movement begins, you are stable enough to sustain it. December 18th also signals the end of explaining yourself. When heaven flips the script, evidence replaces explanation. Results speak louder than defense. You will find yourself less interested in convincing people of your worth and more focused on stewarding what has been entrusted to you. Recognition may come, but it won't feel intoxicating. It will feel appropriate. That's how you know the flip is real. It doesn't inflate your ego. It grounds you in purpose. There may also be sudden opportunities that appear out of nowhere, but they are not random. They are activated. They were always positioned to meet you at the right time. You were simply not aligned to receive them before. Now you are. The divine flip does not create opportunities from nothing. It aligns you with what was already prepared. That is why it feels both surprising and familiar at the same time. Understand this. When heaven says, now, it is not because you finally convinced it. It is because the work is complete. The foundation is solid. The capacity is built. The timing is exact. December 18th is not rushing you forward. It is releasing you forward. And once that release happens, things do not revert. Momentum may ebb and flow, but the direction remains the same. So as you step into this moment, resist the urge to look back. Don't second-guess the waiting. Don't question whether you're ready. The flip does not happen until readiness is established. Trust the movement. Trust the ease. Trust the shift. December 18th is the moment when preparation ends and expression begins. Heaven has spoken. Now movement follows. Chosen one. Before anything else unfolds, before elevation becomes visible, and before momentum becomes undeniable, it must be said plainly and honestly. The weight you carried was real, and it was heavy. Not the kind of weight people could see or measure, but the kind that presses on your chest in quiet moments, the kind that follows you into sleep and greets you when you wake up. You carried emotional burdens you never felt safe enough to explain. You carried mental exhaustion that didn't come from lack of effort, but from carrying responsibility without clarity. You carried spiritual questions you didn't always have answers to, yet you kept moving forward anyway. And what made it even heavier was that you carried it alone. People saw your strength, but not the cost of it. They saw your composure, but not the internal battles required to maintain it. You smiled when it hurt. You stayed functional when you felt fragile. You kept promises while quietly wondering who would ever show up for you the way you showed up for others. There were moments when giving up would have been understandable. Moments when walking away would have made sense. Moments when bitterness would have been justified. Yet you didn't choose those paths. You chose integrity when shortcuts were available. You chose patience when frustration had every reason to take over. You chose to keep your heart open when closing it would have felt safer. That choice mattered more than you realize. Heaven does not measure strength by how loud it is, but by how consistent it remains under pressure. And you remained. Even when you doubted yourself, even when you felt tired of being the strong one, even when it seemed like no one noticed how much effort it took just to stay upright, you remained. The silent battles are the ones that shape destiny the most, because they reveal who you are when no one is watching. You fought wars in your mind that never showed up on your calendar. You wrestled with fear, self-doubt, disappointment, and loneliness without letting those battles define your character. You questioned your worth, your timing, your direction, but you didn't abandon your values. That is not small. That is rare. Many people break under far less pressure. Many people compromise under far lighter weight. But you learned how to carry heaviness without letting it poison you. You learned how to endure without becoming cold. You learned how to survive without losing compassion. That kind of inner strength cannot be taught. It is forged. What makes this season significant is that nothing you carried was wasted. Every tear you swallowed, every night you stayed awake thinking, every moment you felt unseen contributed to the resilience you now possess. You were being trained in emotional stamina. You were learning how to hold space for responsibility, influence, and impact before they arrived. Because what is coming requires steadiness, not excitement alone. It requires maturity, not just talent. And you are developing that maturity in the hardest way, through experience. December 18th does not erase what you went through, but it honors it. It marks the moment when the weight you carried privately begins to translate into strength you can stand on publicly. This is not about repayment in a transactional sense, it is about alignment. The level of responsibility you carried when no one was watching qualifies you for the level of trust you are stepping into now. Heaven does not place weight on people randomly. Weight is given to those being prepared for something meaningful. And the fact that you survived without becoming bitter, without becoming cruel, without losing your sense of right and wrong, says everything about your readiness. There were days you felt like you were holding everything together with sheer will. Days when you were exhausted not because life was busy, but because life was emotionally heavy. You still showed up. You still did what needed to be done. You still carried others even when you needed support yourself. That kind of strength leaves marks, but it also leaves capacity. You can hold more now. You can manage more now. You can steward more now. And that is why the reward matches the resilience. Not as compensation, but as continuation. Understand this clearly. What you are stepping into is not luck. It is not random favor. It is not something you stumbled into. It is the natural outcome of inner strength developed under pressure. December 18th does not suddenly make you worthy. It reveals that you already were. The season ahead will feel different because you are different. You are not fragile anymore. You are not easily shaken. You are grounded, anchored, seasoned. So if you ever wondered whether the silent suffering mattered, whether the unseen endurance counted, whether the nights you cried quietly made any difference, this is your answer. It mattered. It counted. It shaped you. And now, the same strength that helped you survive is about to help you rise. The weight you carried did not crush you. It crowned you, chosen one. There is almost always a sacred pause before a divine release, a brief window of heightened awareness where the atmosphere feels different even though nothing visible has changed yet. And this is what the 48-hour window before December 18th represents. It is not a countdown filled with anxiety or pressure. It is a soft alert, a gentle but unmistakable signal that something has already been set in motion behind the scenes. During this window, you may notice that your inner world becomes unusually active while your outer world grows strangely quiet. Dreams may become more vivid, symbolic, or emotionally charged, carrying messages you don't immediately understand but deeply feel. You may wake up with clarity you didn't go to sleep with, or feel a sense of knowing without knowing why. This is not imagination, it is sensitivity increasing. When alignment approaches, intuition sharpens before circumstances shift.